reached the RCGroups live hangout, and today we're doing our post show for Joe Nall 2016. I have to say, we missed last Thursday. We apologize. Jason was out trying to qualify for an FPV Nationals team, and we're going to talk about that this Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. But I thought that we should get this Joe Nall piece out of the way, and the reason, and by saying out of the way, what I mean is, while it's still fresh in our mind and all the vivid memories of Joe Nall 2016 are with us, we wanted to talk about it. So if we do miss some live viewers, which I actually had people contact me last week saying, where is the podcast? Where's the live broadcast? We apologize, but this will go straight to YouTube, so you can watch it in the future for the rest of your life, over and over again if you want. It would be kind of weird, but you could do that. Now I want to introduce the folks that are the hosts and the editors of RCGroups.com. To my left is Matt Gunn. What's up, Matt?
How y'all doing?
And then to his left is Jason Cole. What's happening?
What's up, everybody?
All right, so I want to verify everything is rocking and rolling, and it is. Hey, guess what? I did not make a list of things to talk about. I have a short list, but not a comprehensive list.
You know, I think we could cover just about everything that was Joe Nall. I still remember everything. I mean, it's been over a week, and it's all still fresh in my head, and that's usually not the case with anything else in life. So,
awesome. And I guess where we should start is at the beginning. so let's start with you, Matt Gunn. You got there a day before us on Monday. Tell us about rolling in, what you saw, how thick or thin it was when you hit the flight line.
Okay, so last year I ended up showing up on Friday and getting a great spot and all sorts of stuff. And I still got a great spot this time, but I showed up on Monday. So with that said, the place was pretty packed. By Monday it was just like any other day throughout the week at Joe Nall. There were campers everywhere. It was full tilt. Everybody was running around. The water truck was already out laying down the water to keep the dust down, and this was Monday afternoon. So they start early at Joe Nall and they finish late. And when everyone rolls out, the place cleans out fast. But so I got there, went right up to the top, signed in, got my pilot's badge, got my vendor badge, and camping, stuff you put in the window of your car. And this year decided to go right down toward the FPV line. So it was wide open there when I first got there. Huge open space. I set up my rooftop tent on the top of my Toyota Tacoma pickup truck,
which was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty dang cool, wasn't it? And
I think you sold a few of those.
I think I did too. There was probably 50 people that were came up. There were so many people taking photos, so many people asking me where to get it and how much it cost and all that good stuff. And for all of you that want to know a little bit more about it, I'm going to be doing a article on this tent on RCGroups. That's a tough one to do because we always do RC stuff, obviously, but this has its place, I think. Because
well, it's like my flashlight. I was reluctant to do a flashlight review, and I'm not kidding you. I was on the 3D line, and a fireman who's also a Flying Giants user walked up and said, I bought this flashlight because of your review, and it's awesome. And I said, does it blow your mind? He said, I can't. When I first turned it on, I couldn't believe it. So I think your tent is the same way. People would come up and ask about your tent every day.
Every single day, 5, 6, 7 times a day, people would come up and ask about this tent on the top of my truck that folds out like an accordion. That's my best analogy I can put. I say, yeah, it folds out like an accordion. But I'll do a review on it, and you guys will see it. It's called the Smitty-built Overlander.
Hey, why don't you pull up a photo of it while we're talking so we can take a look at it here in the video?
Oh boy.
There's got to be a photo. Now, did you say you drove home with that thing on the roof of your car?
Oh, absolutely. It folds up flat. It's only about 12 inches in height off the roof of my truck, and it's just this big, huge square box on the top. So.
Well, Jason and I did something we've done a long time ago, but not recently. We decided to get an RV, and the theory was we wanted a place that was air-conditioned with power, and then we put our data cards in there. Let's talk about that later, Matt, about data and how much we actually used. I didn't check, and I need to. But we put it up by the FPV line. There were two theories there. We're FPVers, and a lot of our FPV brethren were, Ready Made RC was like in front of our RV, and Tim King was behind us, and Clint from Castle was 2 RVs away, so it was a compound. And that worked out pretty awesome, especially after the first day. It was so stinking hot, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
We did have an altercation. Maybe altercation is strong. Jason was there for it. When the lady informed me that they were going to charge us $3.50 for every hour we used the generator.
That's highway robbery. Seriously. I
never want to really lose my temper, but I have worked on voicing my strong opinion when I think it's needed. And so I actually stood up and walked around a little bit. I was considering it got me a little sideways, but it all worked out in the end. It all actually came out to the exact amount that I thought we were going to pay in the first place. So I did a lot of concerning for nothing.
It was well worth it, though, having the AC and being able to come in at the end of the day, especially being sick.
Oh, yeah.
FYI, I worked at Joe Nall sick like the whole trip.
And I kept saying, just so you know, Jason, just go to the RV and don't. It was so hot.
Yeah.
And then Matt at some point said, "Where do you think Jason is?" And I said, "He's probably in the RV writing 4 stories at one time." Which is exactly what you were doing.
That RV was a germ factory.
Well, I'm going to knock on wood. I think I would have been sick by now, but I didn't catch anything. Did you catch anything, Matt?
Negatory.
No, that's good news.
Here's the picture. Here's this picture real quick. You want me to do a screen share?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can pull this up. I'll do a full screen share, and then there you go. Can you guys see that?
We'll wait the mega second.
There it is.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me present this photo 1 second.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, so as you can see, there's no one around me. Well, that changed so quickly. By the time that you guys got there, I was surrounded by tour bus style RVs. I mean, the big boys. You can kind of see one off there, off the back of my truck. There's a tour bus sized RV back there. They were everywhere. And I pulled all of this stuff out the bed of my truck.
Huh.
I have 2 tiers in there. I stacked everything in. So it took me a good hour and a half to set everything up, and then this guy came down the hill, and he goes, "I just thought you were going to keep pulling stuff out the back." He's like, "I've never seen so much out of a truck before."
Clown car.
Yeah, man. So I'm putting everything in. I got my solar panel there, keeping my battery charged. So I was charging lipos and keeping my camera fresh, out the back of my truck. I've got all sorts of attachments back there that go back from the battery in the front. So everything was cool, man. It was a good setup. Great setup, actually.
Then we laid the RV right in next to you there.
Yep. All right. There's my stop presenting. It was a good spot, and then it filled up real quick. So, it became some people. This guy came up to me, and awesome guy. I hope he's listening. But I apologize because I forgot his name, but I think he's a ham license operator like myself. So he came up to me and he said that we should do an article about the generators and the noise and stuff like that. I think he just wanted to get a good night's sleep, and yet the RVs were running all their generators, and then he commended us on turning our generators off at night, unlike everyone else. And I didn't tell them that no one was sleeping in it, but that's why they were off. I was sleeping in my tent, and you guys were at the hotel. But that was so I was like, yeah, man, no problem. I'll keep it off for you.
Jimmies are just part of the deal, just like somebody waking up at 6 and burning down the runway.
Oh man, I woke up at 6 a.m. to dawn patrol from the main line. Yeah, I was fine with it. It's par for the course, right?
Yep.
Hey, one thing that we do a lot is we have to, before each show, we get the golf carts up and we flag it out. And so we were in the middle of flagging it out, and something very unique and special happened. I'm going to try and do a screen share. Hold on one moment. Let me go.
I know
full
exactly
screen.
what this is.
Is this the what I think it is? The little video.
Yeah. So I don't want to do entire screen. I don't want to do. Okay. I haven't done this before. Everyone, bear with me. I think.
You can do it.
What is it? This is it. Okay. I'm going to share. Then I'm going to go full screen. You guys tell me if you see a full screen.
Yeah, we got it, man.
Okay.
Let me just set you as present. There you go.
Can they hear the music?
No, it's just the video.
Okay,
No
so in the
audio.
background is a band playing music. So Ashley started waving her flag, and then I don't think she was aware I was in the background.
Yeah, she likened you to her little brother photobombing her color guard.
And Matt's shouting at us, "Throw him! Throw him!"
And then
That's good.
yeah, and then at some point I said, "This is a lot less climactic than I thought it was going to be."
That's
But it
awesome.
turned out to be awesome.
Yep. Nice work.
Oh.
Nice work on the color guard.
I hear some barking.
Nope.
It
Not
must
from
be
my house.
No, it's a FedEx man.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Brown
for you?
Santa.
Oh, and by the damn way, when I
Yeah.
stand up, please note my shorts.
Are you heading out? He is going live. Oh, hold on.
Yes.
We got to present this.
Oh man, we didn't get those handed off to Tim King.
Dude. What is going on? Oh man, that is new
Oh man.
that's insane. Okay, so hopefully he'll do, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, the UPS man just arrived at Jim's house. That means, and I think Jason, you can echo this sentiment, but even if we're live, we always have to stop and go check the UPS if they show up.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
so many live unboxings that are just random at the times that we're podcast. There, look at that big box.
Oh, let me
What the
present.
heck is that?
Whoa, look at this. Hey, it
It's
looks
like
like
12 AR-15s.
it looks like UPS got a hold of it on the side there. It's got a dent in it. All right.
Holy crap, Jim! What is that?
It ain't little.
What's going on here, man? Is this RC
I
or
got my super sweet cutter?
don't slice yourself open live?
Yeah, I gotta
This
go.
is what it's like for every hobbyist when the UPS
Mm.
truck is here. It's like open
I
it
don't-
as soon as possible.
I don't know what this is. My wife makes fun of me, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Why would I not open it?"
We don't call him Brown Santa for nothing.
That looks like some
I'm gonna
kind
say
of
that is
airplane.
I'm gonna guess that it's a foamy ARF. A
I'm
foam
wondering
ARF
if I
of
know what
sorts.
he's got coming.
Wait, has he said? Jim, did you say anything to us that what this was going to be?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a live unboxing. We have no idea what's inside. It could be roses.
Amazon.com. I use it all the time.
It should be another box, right? There's another box within the box.
Oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? I don't know what is it?
Oh, it's the Grobner
Hot trigger.
Hot Trigger.
It's high performance. Foam
Hot
air-
damn.
It says so right on the box.
And look at the colors. Whose colors are those?
Those are
University of Georgia.
Dude, those are my colors.
bulldog colors. Isn't
Hey,
it?
what is that all on the bottom? There's like 5,000 languages.
Oh man, how many? This is multi-ethnic, multicultural.
Holy moly.
RC.
Hey, wait. Get closer so everyone can see. What
Wow.
language is that right there? I don't know.
There's a
Wow,
lot.
I've never seen that before.
Me either. Good thing the box is so big, it goes all the way to the bottom. Wow. That is awesome.
What is going on here?
But when you open it, it'll be the green one.
That's a nice looking little bird right there.
I really, I'm not going to get too involved here, but we should at least open it and take a peek inside.
Oh baby.
All right.
Jim T, I did find your perfect FPV airplane that you're looking for that we'll talk about on Thursday.
Well,
Oh yeah.
this is a 3D plane, but I'm also going to try to FPV it, but it's pretty big. I must have tape.
What's the wingspan on that Joker?
It's got to be in the 50s.
It's 1,400 millimeters.
Is it really?
1,400. Speaking of
1,400
which,
millimeters to inches is 55. Thank you.
That reminds me of a story while Jim's opening that box.
Dude, you're fumbling, brother.
The guys were doing mile high FPV flights,
Yeah.
and we were looking at the OSD, and it was taking forever, and it was looking really high, and then they realized that the OSD was in meters, not feet. So he got the 5,000 something meters.
Oh my god!
Way the heck up there.
So it's not really a. I'd have to take it all the way out to show you everything, but
Yeah. You need to take pictures and all that stuff.
it's nicely packed.
I see that. It's a foam mess in there.
So it's
in 40 languages.
It's supposed to be a sport/3D plane, and I'm old G 3D. I can do some nice knife edge, Harrier, hover. And then Jason Cole is the upper level echelon 3D pilot. So what I thought we did, I'm going to build it, review it, and shoot the build, and write the review, and then head to the field, and then we'll maiden it, and I'll do all the things that I'm capable of. Then we'll get Jason out there, and hopefully it'll come home in one piece.
Looks like a nice little bird.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Man, there's a bee in here. No, scratch that. There is a yellow jacket in my basement.
Just swat at it.
I'm not going to touch him. He's flying around the lights. I'm going to let him be.
Yeah.
Don't. Well, PETA will get on us. Leave it alone.
PETA. I think that would be like Beta.
There's a nest of red wasps that are in my basement somewhere in the shop where I shoot videos.
Yeah.
And about once a year, one at a time, it seems like they come out. And the other day, I knew there was one up there, but I was ignoring it, And then I felt something on my head, and I moved out of the way, and I thought, surely there's not a red wasp on my head. And I reached up, and it was walking around in my hair.
Oh, my gosh.
And I screamed like a lady and ran out of the room.
Kind of like when that squirrel got you?
Oh, my gosh, something happened. Oh, yeah, that was it. I've been hit by a squirrel twice, so I guess I told the squirrel story.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is how we really get off track from Joe Nall.
Coming back. Okay, let me say one more thing. In a secondary box, I ordered these from Amazon, and this thing takes 4S. Let's see what I ordered, and I'll tell you what it needs. 4S 2200s.
What is it?
So I got a couple of 4S 2200s.
Oh, for the airplane.
And I think they were $25 a piece. And I believe they're 40C.
I have those exact batteries. Yeah, I use them for my Littlefoot.
Nothing wrong with these guys. Great price. I also, while we were at Joe Nall on Vendor Row, I met a lovely lady named Rainbow. And Rainbow, and this is pretty interesting actually, because we had a long talk. Rainbow is with Jen's Ace Tattoo, Tattu. So you probably have had a Jen's Ace or a Tattoo battery.
I have both.
Right. And so I'm like, hey, I know Jen's Ace and Tattoo. I think you guys have advertised with us, or maybe currently advertising. I know we're talking right now. And so they used to be through Nitro Planes, and they have left Nitro Planes, and now they are on their own. They have a USA warehouse, and Rainbow, who's one of the owners, could not have been any nicer. She said she'd been with the company since '05, which is a long time to be with one company in a Chinese company. And so I ordered 2 little batteries for my Hermit, and I got those batteries in 2 days, man. And I ordered them via their Amazon store. It's straight from their U.S. distribution center.
Nice. Yeah, I have the Tattoo 6S 10,000s I had for my big boy quad or octocopter back in the day. Great batteries. Joe Nall, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Joe Nall, we should thank Lane from lanesplanes.com for these awesome signs that we have.
The little one is behind Jason Cole.
It's right here. I'm framing it. Well, this is hard.
And then the concept was, I don't know if you're familiar with the picture I took of Lane. He was coming out of a bathroom at Seth making a funny face. And Jason, I think, was in the cart. Maybe it was Matt. But it hit me, why don't you make us some signs for our golf carts?
It better not have been Matt.
I was not at Seth.
But it took him a while. He had a incident. He lost a friend in a car wreck, and so I'm like, man, don't even worry about it. But Lane, being the uber badass that he is, he went ahead and cut 2 of them. One was a test, the little one, and then my big one back here was it fits our golf cart. Oh,
Why
wow.
don't you bring that over?
It looks awesome on the golf cart.
Show
it
it.
really does.
All right. I should have been thinking in advance.
I got you on present to everybody.
And the little one fit perfectly inside of the cubby holes, where you put all your crap in the golf carts in the facing you as a driver. And it kind of lit up the whole inside, made it look like a little custom golf cart tricked out thing. Pretty neat.
Where would that photo be, Jason? Of
Facebook or RCGroups?
I'll grab it off of Facebook and then share it live. So keep talking.
Joe Nall. I don't remember which day of coverage. There's like many days worth of photos.
That's the trick.
On RCGroups and Flying Giants.
I have a few photos I want to share. So anyway, this is he cut it out. It's got clear plastic on the front, and then it's powered by a LiPo on the back. And then I had him cut slits in there, and we just zip tied it to the front of our golf cart. Looks awesome. And we're gonna I'll probably have him make us another one next year. Maybe a FG version.
Yeah.
So that happened. Also, I'm wearing my MK. Well, we need to thank our event coverage sponsors. We had two. We had one event coverage sponsor for RCGroups.com, and that was ZB at Esprit Model.
Mm-hmm.
And ZB was in full effect. Jason and I were there. I had a little ESC smoke out on the second day when I was flying my paramotor, which is here. It's in this room somewhere. I need to get it on the machine. And then, so ZB sponsored the RC Groups piece, as I just said. And then for Flying Giants, Chris and Ben from Extreme Flight sponsored the Flying Giants event coverage. And by doing that, it allows us to do a little more extra things, like buy more shirts. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the shirt handout. You got that? Anything pulled up there, Mr. Maticus?
No. Hold on. There's bees right here in front of me. It will not. I hope you saw that going across my screen.
Attack live on the RC Groups video hangout.
That is a yellow jacket of epic proportions, and he is.
He likes your hat.
He's talking to me. He's like, "How about a Zagnut?" Anyway, yeah, we gave away 500 shirts in 11 minutes. These shirts right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn around. Let's show it. Ready? Can you see it, everybody?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's my Flying Giants design for this year. Last year we did a Joe Nall centric sort of design. This year we just went all natural and decided we'd just make it all Flying Giants.
I already have next year's in my mind.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that, and I'll put it together. But anyway, we gave out. So never in my life have I seen a line of human beings in the RC industry like. Oh yeah, there you go.
So there's
that cart.
It's on the golf cart.
That is pretty slick.
With the flags, the flags we've had forever. So pretty awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so Matt Gunn.
So it's 10. So we gave away 500 shirts.
Wait.
We were set to give away 500 shirts at the Extreme Flight tent at 11 a.m. on Thursday at the 3D line.
Dude, I couldn't believe it.
What happened was, let's start this story from the beginning so that we work them into the reality of what really happened. But the day before, we gave away RC Group shirts, and we found that if we had boxes of shirts on our golf carts, if we
they could smell it.
Yeah,
they could smell it is right.
It wasn't time to give them away, so we pulled over, and simply by stopping, we were swamped by people. And I'm like, they'll be gone before we get to the actual place we're going.
Yeah, and they would take more than one. They would desperately ask for more than one. They were like, well, let me get one, let me get one from my sister. Let me get one from my cousin. I got cataract. Let me get one from my cataracts. And I'm like, what? No, you get one shirt, dude.
So the next day, we were like, okay, we had a caravan of golf carts. We had all the shirts in them. And our plan was not to be on the line until exactly 11 o'clock to stem any early, hey, can I have some shirts, right?
Yep.
And our goal was to not stop in the caravan.
Yes. And people commented.
Babies fell out of other ones. We didn't stop. We didn't help anybody. We just drove.
Our caravan was 3 deep, 6 people total, I think.
And then when we got to the 3D line, we're by the bathhouse, and I'm thinking about, okay, where should we pull up? And I tried to. In the old days, you could drive on the main line, but that kind of is poo-pooed on now. It's not cool. And Wes, the line boss, was on the road by the bus turnaround, waving us in like this. And I said to Ashley, "How does he know where we're going?" And he goes, "No, keep going to the main line." So Matt,
the main 3D line.
Yeah.
The 3D line, right.
So all I remember he waved us around the concession stand, and right at the beginning where the dirt circle is for the turnaround. So he waves us through this concession stand. We're coming around the corner. I'm like, what is happening? It opens up and you can see the back of the pavilion, and there's a line of people from Extreme Flight's tent that goes across the entire courtyard around the back of the bathhouses and makes a loop back around just so they could fit. And so this line was over 500 people deep.
I've never seen.
No. It was 500 people deep because we gave away every single shirt, and the line ended. But let's get back to the beginning before we say we gave away them all, which I just did. So Wes starts pushing people aside. Excuse me, parting the seas. And we have to drive through, but no one wants to really move because either they're ticked off because they're standing in the sun for 10 minutes, or B, they were just not really caring. So I'm like going up in my golf cart, I'm trying to push through people, almost nudging them. It was kind of like a mob of angry modelers that wanted free T-shirts. So it was interesting. I'm like, beep,
it was
beep.
Awesome, man.
I didn't have a horn, so I'm like, beep, excuse me. So we set up, and then we got a group of modelers. I don't remember who everyone was, but they helped us hand out shirts.
I just yelled out, "If you want to help." And afterwards, there were people upset they didn't get to hand out shirts.
Yeah,
so,
that's
like,
interesting. That's
the judge came over and she was like, "Oh, I missed it. I wanted to hand out shirts." So 2 or 3 weeks, it doesn't matter how long before, but I was on the phone with Matt and we were discussing if we needed to buy more shirts. And we decided that we did need to buy more shirts. And if we had not purchased those extra $1,000 worth of shirts,
yeah, there would have been hell to pay.
It would not have been cool.
It wouldn't have been but everyone got their shirts, and I remember you said this, and I felt the same way. There's no way that we were going to give away all those shirts. Like, I mean, there's no way that everyone in that line was going to get a shirt, but they did, and I was so scared. I was like, we're going to run out. We're going to run out, but the pile just kind of kept staying the same size.
Well, we were down to the last, 10, and I went over, and we had about 10 shirts left, and I was like, I can't believe this.
I know. So, lesson learned, there's a lot more people in XXL. There's a lot more people in small.
We will be buying 3Xs next year.
Yeah.
And we will not forget the children's either. Also, once again, thanks to Chris and the whole team at Extreme Flight for sponsoring it. The shirts were created before they came on as a sponsor, so that's why they weren't on the shirt, but they certainly are a big part of why everyone got a shirt that day, for sure.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing Chris said, and I will say that I am exactly the same way. When we first started, I ran over to Chris's tent, and I said, I want to make sure everybody in this tent gets a shirt, so please come over and get a shirt. Nobody came over and got a shirt, and then I felt pretty bad about it. Went to Chris, and I said, Chris, man, I can't believe that you didn't get a shirt. And he goes, it's cool, man. I only wear black shirts anyway. And I was like, I only wear black shirts too, so maybe we do some black shirts next year. And we don't do black because people say it's too hot, but I've worn black for 10 years every day at every event I've ever been to.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, the black shirt argument is the same as the black airplane argument, that the black airplane disappears in the sky. I fly dark airplanes all the time. They're fine. So I wear, just like you, I wear dark black shirts when I do coverage standing out in the sun for 10 hours. I don't feel any more heat exhausted in that regards.
I just had an awesome idea. And I'm not going to say what it is, but I will tell you, and now I know what our shirts are going to look like next year, and they're going to be super cool.
Well, let's talk afterwards, and I'll get designing it early.
Are they going to be laser cut from lanesplanes.com with custom LED lighting?
The logo will be cut into the shirt. So
when you get a sunburn, it'll...
It's a double branding thing there.
It'll brand into your chest. That is so awkward.
Where's Facebook? Okay, so I have a video pulled up of the electric line that Matt Gunn shot of Tavis and Jace flying at night. And so before I show that video, I want to say that for many years I see Tavis on the line. For those of you who don't know Tavis, a.k.a. Butthead.
Butt face.
Not Butthead, sorry, man. But he has long hair. He wears a backwards baseball cap. He wears Blade sunglasses. He always wears blue jeans. And each year I think, man.
And he sounds like Mark Murdoch doing a Hojaz impression.
And so this year I said, Ashley, I started unbraiding my braids, and she said, what's happening? And I said, it's about to go down. Get your camera ready. So I walked up behind Tavis, and I'm going to screen share this photo. And when he turned around, and I have a picture of him turning around and saying, what's going on? So here we go. Here's the photo.
Oh, man. Wait, let me share full screen with you. Here you go. There we are.
So
man.
Tell me how similar of a look are we running right now?
Yeah, that's pretty similar. You have a little bit more of the chops on the side there.
Yeah,
Jim.
He's more closely shaven.
Yeah, but look at that. Hat's on backwards. Jim, you got the post-braid perm going.
Yeah, somebody said, they asked me if I did it with
Crept it.
And I was like, no, man, I didn't crip my hair.
Man, that's legit, though, now that you look at it. I mean, you both have a little red going on up there. You got the bandana. He's got the red on the cap. Black shirts, hands crossed the same. Both doing the same exact sort of look. That's a little bit weird. I love it.
There's only one thing missing, though.
What?
Intense skill. So let's show Tavis doing what he does here. I'm gonna go over to this page and I'm gonna go full screen, and you guys let me know if it works.
Okay.
There's got to be a way to get the audio from the videos.
Oh yeah.
But it's okay.
So what are these lighting systems, guys? We know what they're called. Who makes those?
They're LEDs.
Aurora. That's Aurora RC, isn't it?
It's like a light emitting diode or something.
Yeah, they're a great company. I like Aurora.
They're not too expensive.
Yeah, I've got a kit myself, and I'm gonna put together of theirs.
So I'm assuming that is Tavis? Yeah, based by that smoke ring that's popping out of there.
I'm curious what the 4 stages to a heart attack are, though.
Yeah, apparently it has something to do with the big toe.
I was like, what? What are they talking about? Nighttime tail dipping, that looks even better in the nighttime.
Yeah, it does.
Cumulus smoke by Josh.
Is that so? That's Michael Leonard. I think that's Michael Leonard and Andrew Rochelle flying right now.
So if you've never been to Joe Nall, just this alone is worth it.
Yeah, that is Michael Leonard right there. Michael Leonard Jr. doing some beautiful hovering, right, dipping the tail, and then that is Andrew Rochelle going flying by.
Yeah, the nighttime shows in the 3D line are almost as good, if not better, than the noontime demo show during the day.
And they're totally unofficial. No one's like, okay, Tavis, are you showing up to do your nighttime routine? No, man, that dude just pays his money, buys his gas, and shows up and does it.
Buys his gas, buys his smoke oil in probably 55-gallon drums.
Yeah.
Because those boys, there was one thing that you did not see on the 3D line, and that was mosquitoes.
True.
Yeah, because those boys were pumping smoke oil the entire time.
You know what?
They should just go ahead and pump out DDT.
I'm hearing this talk, and I think maybe we should be the MCs next year on the main line, kind of like golf announcers.
No, man. Either people would love it.
Here's the sound.
Yeah, that's it. Good looking.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
And if you're awesome, you got to hold your transmitter real low.
I try that. I don't.
I think the older you get, the lower it goes.
No, that's for other stuff, dude. Anyway.
Lots of cool stuff at Nall, man. Lots of good news. New products and stuff announced, too, right?
We had some stuff no one broke, and that was because we talked to people at SEF and found out what might be coming out at Joe Nall, and they were like, "Yeah, break it." So, Jason, you want to talk about it? You were the guy breaking most of the news.
Yeah. So I mean, went down to the electric line, and Horizon had a booth and a tent down there, and they were showing off the new Timber bush plane. They had a new Mini Apprentice S.
The Radiant XL, super cool.
Radiant XL.
Spend money.
Yeah, man. We got to see the new Jetty DS24 color screen radio, which I'm extremely excited about. We got to see a cool little Simple Tracker ground station unit that's pretty awesome. That Jim's going to be getting one for review.
Yeah,
a V2 version.
And then did you bring up the micro?
That was my last one. And then we got a first look at the Micro Vector, which is going to be amazing. And I definitely want one for some of these new flying wings I'm going to be building.
That's it, man. Straight up wing. I personally won't put it on a quad because all I can see in this is just very small fixed wing planes that are controlled just like the full size Vector. Oh, yeah. Wonderful.
You put the gyro on there and you tune it the way you want, and then now your little wing is coming close to flying like a real large airplane, except it's tiny, fits through gates.
And from the feedback, that thing is going to be very popular. Nobody really saw it coming, and it's highly in demand right now. So very cool.
We didn't know a thing about it. That's not true.
Oh, and they also had Bavarian Demon has a new version of their Cortex Pro. Speaking of gyros, that's for probably larger airplanes and helicopters and stuff. But
explain to us the new
Cortex Pro.
What the difference is?
Well, it's a little bit. So it's a new case. Everything looks different, but they basically took feedback from all their customers and stuff they've read on the forums and all that stuff. And so what this one does is it has dual serial input outputs. So you can go from like a what are those things called, like a power box type thing, into it and out of it. You've got a lot more serial data connections to be able to hook in other equipment. That's mainly for like big giant scale stuff with lots of servos, lots of things, or high-end helicopters.
Is the protocol different? I mean, does it stabilize better than before, or is
he didn't really talk about that stuff. I'm sure it's using their same. They've had firmware updates, over time, but they keep modifying the code. But I don't know if it's like. I think it's based on the original Cortex. It's not like an entirely new written code or anything. But
what's funny is that I've never once updated my Cortex, which is in that Rockstar right there.
Yeah.
I've never updated it, so maybe I should update it and take advantage of whatever they've changed in their algorithms for stabilizing.
Yeah. So this was, for me, it was like I haven't seen so much news come out of Joe Nall before.
Yeah, me either.
There's always something like a new product or companies joining together or something going down, but there were so many new products announced that was awesome.
Yeah, last year
I got a good one. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say last year the biggest deal was Extreme Flight and 3D Hobby Shop joining forces.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anything super giant last year. But man, lots of good stuff this year.
This year from Booma RC, a big one for the giant scale side of the industry. They've created a spin-off, if you will, called AR, Advanced Radio. And I met up with the owner at in the vendor row, and they have some things called the Smart Bus Extreme, and basically it is a way to, they have their smart switches, they have their IntelliMatch, their Smart Bus, their Master Bus, all sorts of good products that are designed to handle the load of giant scale servos, all going in multiple batteries, and it has screens that tell you basically what's going on with the system inside the aircraft. So good system for giant 100cc birds and things like that. So, and it's not even out yet. In fact, the stuff isn't even on their website. They just kind of snuck it in. So I'm talking with Steve at Falcon, and he said, you need to walk right over there to that Buma RC tent and check out what they have. And it was brand new, not even on the site yet. So awesome.
Big thanks to Steve and Julia. I'm correct in that name, right?
Julie,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Pretty close. We were walking by, and they were drinking crazy high-density beers of some sort. It was
great. High density is a good way to put that stuff, man. That was some top shelf brewskis.
It was about 5:30 at night, and it appeared to be some board of directors meeting of multiple companies from the vendor line, and they were waved us over, and I was like, yes, I would like to eat that oatmeal beer, and I used the word eat correctly, the thickest beer. I didn't have to eat dinner after that. And then Matt sat down, and we had a good, long, fun. I even told a Bubba Spivey story under the tent.
There you go.
That's right. I sure did.
You know, it's a good time when Bubba Spivey voice gets used.
Well, you don't know, but when you do, you will. And when you will, well, you'll know it then.
My ears hurt.
I want to say something. MKS, and we have a live reenactment of the actual encounter here. And Thomas.
I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing that anymore, dude.
Thomas from MKS Servos came up to us at Toledo and said, hey, let's do a contest at Joe Nall, come up with something cool. And so the idea that we came up with was we utilize MKS sticker. You go to the booth, the chief booth, and get an MKS sticker and stick it on something. We had 3 winners, and I'm not kidding, man. The contest is over, so don't get excited. But he was giving away like $500 worth of servos, 3 sets of those $500 deals. It's a lot of cash. And so you had to take your sticker and do something creative with it that was not illegal on something that you owned. Because we've been doing contests a long time. We know how it goes. So we picked our winners, and I actually picked the most creative because I saw it and I immediately knew. I went over everybody's entry 3 times just in case you're part of that thing. But I'm going to screen share the winning photo here.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even seen these.
That's awesome. I'm looking at the winning photo now. That's got to be the coolest thing I've seen.
Wow.
So, I mean, how do you beat that? That's just too cool.
Look at that.
Nice.
So what is that on?
I guess it's on his... I assumed it's where his landing gear would have been.
What is that? Okay, so question is...
You sure that's not a quadcopter?
What sort of pattern is that person flying?
Yeah, he's on the main line, and he's back behind.
Yeah, that's got to be a quad of sorts.
I could have, or it could have been a heli or something that's flying off of the heli line.
Where are they? That's not the main line right there.
No,
right?
yeah, that's behind the main line. Like that's
the main
over
line
top
on the
of
left. That's the main lake in the front. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're back by the helicopter area.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
That was
What did they use there?
G. Barry Hill. He won 5 HV 777s.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool indeed. That was a good contest. So hopefully we can do stuff like that in the future. I don't see why not.
Well, Thomas was excited. And once again, for anyone who wants to have a contest, the reason we had that contest is Thomas just walked up and said, I want to do a contest. And I was like, yeah. So there are some stipulations to contest, which I'm happy to talk with anyone about that wants to have one. So just you feel like you need to have a contest, contact me because we love them and I know our users love them.
If you want to do a contest, contact Jim, the contest director.
The CD. I am a CD. Hey, I haven't said this, and I should have said it right up off the front of the beginning of the I can't talk.
That's the cuff. That's the cuff. You're looking for the word, the cuff.
Yeah, the cuff. The amount of people that came up to, and I'm interested to get your inputs, the amount of people that walked up to me and said, I love the podcast. I bought this airplane because of your review. Thanks for everything you do.
I'm at Joe Nall because of you telling me to go on the podcast.
We had more than a few people say that because of your podcast, we went to Joe Nall, or I made a list based off your podcast. And people always interact with us at shows, but never in my 13, 14-year history of doing this professionally have I had this amount of positive input from users, and it was awesome. What about you guys?
Agreed. And it's kind of like, if you're doing a review on an airplane and you're telling people, yeah, you'll like this airplane, this is really cool, it can be a personal preference thing. They may or may not like it. But if you're telling somebody they're going to absolutely have a blast at Joe Nall, that's a guarantee. They will not be disappointed. And we heard it over and over and over again. It was so cool to hear people come up and shake our hands and say, "I'm here because of you. Thank you. This is the best event I've ever been to."
Oh yeah, no one said I'm here because of you, and I'm mad because I had a terrible time.
Can't believe
That
I'm
was
here.
never said. None of that came across. In fact, a couple of people said, "Hey, I saw I heard you talk about that tent on the roof of your truck, and now I can see it." And I'm like, "Wow, that's pretty cool too, man. Let's enjoy Joe Nall together and go hang out in the tent." So it was a great time, and I've met more new hobbyists and people because of this podcast than I think ever before. So.
Jim T got the most ever woos out of any crowd.
This one couple, okay, you guys know where it is too.
That's right.
At the end of the 3D, at the end of the electric line, right before it all ends and you head towards the 3D line, there was a couple camped out right there, kind of across where you would go to the control line, and they wooed me every single time, and I wooed back. I wooed back every time. They got me every time.
So usually a thing like that, like Petitong, you have to work into it. And by the end, the last day, people really know what's going on. But the woo factor at this show was up, like right off the bat.
It was a high woo factor.
I did, Bob Sadler. I'm sorry. He had the mic, and I turned to Ash and I said, "The first chance I get at that mic, I'm going to see if I can make this whole crowd do the woo. So get your video ready." I haven't seen that video, and Sadler gave me a look, and I gave him a look, and he said, "What do you think, Jim T? Billy Hell?" And I got the whole crowd. I don't know how many people. How many people do you think were at the noontime demos?
Oh my God,
a lot.
At least as many as we gave away T-shirts.
I would say more like 1,000.
Yeah, thousands or more.
Easy. And so we got.
That's how many we gave away, right? Between RCGroups and.
Right. Well, pretty close. But we got the whole front line to woo. So the funniest part is the very last day, I'm taking Ashley back up to get ready for the barbecue, which is the last time I saw her before the show was over. Ash rode around with me in my golf cart, and Ashley Rose goes to events for us. And at these events, we actually get to hang out with her. So as we were coming from the 3D line up to the totally top of the hill, I guess, I started wooing at people, and Ashley would woo when I wooed. And then people started wooing at us, and I kid you not, we got wooed at from the bottom of the hill until we got off the golf cart. It was crazy.
Wooed out.
Nice.
I wanted to say this, so I got this text, and not a text, it's a post on RCGroups, and it's from Zoomer Ron from the Villages in Florida. Jim, I would have liked to chat. I would have liked to chat for a bit, but you are like the Energizer Bunny, going and going. However, I did get to shake your hand at the RCGroups T-shirt giveaway. Thanks so much. And so my reply, and what I'm going to verbalize is I never don't have time to hang out and talk. So if you see me at a show and I appear to be going crazy, go ahead, and I would love to talk to you. So make me stop. It will also give me time to take a break from running crazily.
Yeah, really.
I feel that way sometimes when I have to ask you questions too.
Oh yeah.
Kidding, totally kidding.
I don't know what I look like out there. I just know.
Like the Energizer Bunny. You're going.
It's This might be too personal, but I was thinking when I'm at shows like this, it's kind of my best self. I'm actually really excited. There's so much positivity going down. We're having so much fun. I'm laying everything I have out on the line every day. Now, the flip side of that is the week after the show where I can barely force myself to look at the internet, But I'm out of that now. Today I woke up and felt like my normal self.
There you go.
Nice.
Any heat exhaustion? Anybody die from not drinking water?
No, I think everyone lived.
Matt nearly did.
Oh yeah, you got heat stroke.
Man, no, I didn't get heat stroke. I got dehydrated. I kind of got behind the curve, which we talked about last time, and I wasn't drinking enough water, and I went to bed sort of dehydrated, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and man, my mouth was dry, and I was cold sweating, and
is that a new band, Cold Sweating?
Yeah, Cold Sweat. And I was so dehydrated, I thought I was sick. I literally thought Tanner Curtis got me sick because he said he was sick too. So I was like, great, I am now ill. and I just sat up, chugged 2 bottles of water, and I was fine. So
Sometimes that's all it takes. I came back from Joe Nall one year, and I got out of my truck at a little truck stop to get gas, and both of my legs cramped up, and I couldn't walk. I limped back into my 180-degree hell wagon, my RV, where the water was. I literally was afraid someone was going to see me and call the paramedics because I was like hobbling, and I chugged water until my legs started working again.
Whew. Man.
that was on the drive home.
Yeah, that was many, many years ago. That wasn't on this show. This was back when it was just, and in the old days, it was just me. And talk about a full run, man. That was nonstop. Having you guys makes it more fun, and we get more content out. And it's just better.
So what's the okay? So let's sort of put on our thinking caps here. I have my thinking cap on. What is the strangest sight you saw at Joe Nall 2016? Anybody?
The sea slick?
No, the sea slick. Yeah, that was an interesting aircraft, and he was throwing that thing around too. What about you, Jason? Do you remember anything that any vehicles or any interesting dressed people? What'd you see?
Yeah, I got one. This is partially Jim T's fault too.
Okay.
So we were flying paragliders. And I think there's a drinking game out there for any time I say the word paraglider. Go ahead and take your drink now. But so I was flying my little Oxy Opal paraglider with Mario on it, and Jim T was back behind the line hanging out with some dudes, and he was like, "Jason, let these guys fly your paraglider." I was like, "All right."
Brian Hendricks is the one who stepped up.
So I let a couple guys fly it. Everything's going great. Last guy flies it, and all of a sudden I look up and it's somehow twisted and gnarled up and then on the ground. And that was the strangest sight I've seen because it's not supposed to do that.
I don't know how he did it. I saw it from before it happened, and I saw the whole thing happen. I have no idea how he cut all those lines.
I don't know how he cut one line, and I was able to repair it. I ordered it was $6. It cost me probably $13 with shipping and everything. But I ordered some line from ZB and got it in and repaired it. It's all good. Everything's back to normal.
You should have heard it when it cut the lines. The paraglider didn't make a noise, but Jason was like this.
Oh, the sound of pain from Jason when the paraglider goes in. Those things aren't fun to restring, are they? I heard the string was cheap, but the effort it took to put it all back together is not.
Yeah,
is it back together?
I actually had to do it twice. So the first time I did it, it was a little bit too short. So I had to remeasure and then redo it. So I had to fix it twice.
By the way, just so we don't forget, Nikolai says, Joe Nall, baby. He's posted this in the chat. Whoop, whoop. Love working with you.
I don't even see the chat. Where is that?
It's
Q&A.
Even if it was only today, I enjoyed working for you guys. So Nikolai reviews for us, and he was there, and he walked up to me on the main line during the demo, which just being on the main line during the demo is worth the fee of admission, whatever that is. Yeah. And he said, "What do you want me to do?" And I said, "Take the most killer photos you can, grab out of the air."
Nice. And
what
then,
about you, Matt? Did you see something weird?
Well, I saw a bunch of good stuff. I saw Mark Murdoch's Geo Spider Bat sort of. No, it was his. What was that foam creation that he had where the lipo went up? So he's flying this thing off the lake. And it was literally the biggest lipo smoke fire I have ever seen. And this thing is sitting on the lake, smoking more than Tavis Newman's plane. And it's just this little 3-cell just cooking. It was laying down everything on the lake. And then when I saw the plane, all it had was a little hole burned in the side of it, but the entire inside of it was entirely black. So it was cooked nicely. And then the other funny, I think one of the most funny sights I think I see is what people put on their golf carts when they cruise around. Okay, I got two things. First of all is Jason Cohen with 4 15-foot feather flags that say JR Americas on them.
Yes.
And he comes up to us and he said, "I had to outdo you guys." So,
He did.
I don't understand how he made it from front to back so many times because of all the trees, and you cannot get in the way
of the buses
that will run you over and kill you if you get in their way.
Well, the very first altercation, the only altercation the whole show, was us and a bus driver
yelling at you.
Oh my gosh, man, it was intense.
I don't know how far we can go with talking about that, but that was dangerous, man. Those guys are dangerous. Like, they'll run you over.
It's like logging trucks when I was working in Appalachia.
Hey, it's Appalachian. Come on.
No cares were given that week, and you can substitute cares for whatever other. We
gave the bus drivers a wide berth from then on. I'm talking.
I tried to play chicken with one, and keep a quarter of my golf cart wheel on the pavement and not swing 500 feet out, and I almost got clipped by the mirror. And I look up at the guy, and he's not even looking at you. He's looking straight ahead with this ESAD look on his face. You know what ESAD stands for?
I hope it stands for something good.
Yeah, eat something and die. Yeah, so that's basic. And something, obviously, is another word. So they have this look on their face.
You've gone too far.
Yeah.
We do not endorse what Matt Gunn's saying at this.
I used an acronym.
But yes, it was intense.
Did you guys see the Germans with the turbine on the roof of their golf cart?
Yeah.
Fired up with smoke outputting, and they were driving from the front to the back. So they have this turbine. They have a turbine completely fired up. They have it on the roof of their golf cart with 5 guys holding this jet down while the turbine is live or running, and then they have it cranked up with the smoke on, so it's just billowing the entire flight line.
I was wondering if it was actually pushing the cart.
I don't know, man. This probably put out 10 to 20 pounds of thrust, so probably not. But that was one of the coolest. That was like the final thing I saw was those guys doing that. And,
I was going to say Jason Cohen, he's the breakout personality of Joe Nall this year, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah, he's definitely got a good personality.
And we have interviews with Jason, and we have pictures of the Falcon tent with Steve and Julie, and we have a story about the Sea Slick. We even have photos of the FG deluge of shirts that we gave away.
Isn't that a great word?
Yeah, you know what?
Isn't it deluge?
Oh, depends on where you're at.
In
the old days, we were calling them photo floods, and my only concern was who initially came up with that. I hate to use somebody. Well, I felt like I did, but maybe sometimes I think I did and I don't. So during this show, I was like, "What's better than a flood?"
A deluge.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
And
we could call it the photo El Nino.
Speaking of a flood, I wanted to, every show something happens to me. Last week, a squirrel jumped on my head, right? Okay, I have a story, and it won't take long.
We told it already, but go ahead, tell it again.
No, this is a different story.
Okay,
something different happened to me. It was worse than the squirrel that leaped on my head last week. At Seth, I started watching Naked and Afraid. Because, you're in a hotel, it's hard to find any good TV, and I watched them almost every night. And now I record Naked and Afraid. I like it because it's real, and it's real people, and things are happening. That's why I like it. And so anyway, the thing that always happens on Naked and Afraid, my synopsis is, first they see each other naked, then they get so hungry they start acting stupid, and then the man always drinks water out of a lake. And the girl always tells him not to, and he does, and then he gets dysentery and malaria. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have it. I'm always yelling at the screen, "Don't drink the water! Oh my, I can't believe it! Stop! And just like Bubba Spivey right there. Oh my God! You know when you know it. So fast forward, every year I cover the pool, and last weekend was the weekend to uncover the pool and drain it and refill it. Right. Well, leaves get in there and dirt washes in there, so you got a whole season's worth of stank water at the bottom.
Stank water.
So I drain it all the way to the 2-foot level of stank water where my thing that I have won't drain it out. And then I have to do it with a wet vac. And so I have this, it's a fire hose with a big giant pump on the bottom that I bought many years ago. And I'm trying to get as much water as I can out before I have to go to the wet vac, which is terrible. Well, I get it in there. The hose is, I got to hold it just right so the water will go through it. I tell my wife to plug it in, and then as I do, the pressure comes into the hose, and that, I'm not kidding you, there's mosquito larvae, there's all kind, it smells bad. It got on my shirt and left a stain that wouldn't come out. That's the kind of water I'm talking about, right? The water, and not a little, like a water hose amount of water, shot out of the base of the thing straight in my mouth.
Yeah.
Like
Nice.
a huge glug of stank water straight in my pie hole, man.
Oh,
And
your wife has got to have better stories than you do about this sort of stuff.
This is the sound I made. I remember after I made it, I thought somebody must think I just got impaled because I was like, ah! I ran upstairs. I'm washing out my mouth. I took a shower. I was like, I'm gonna get malaria. Or mosquito
Stank
larvae.
water. Oh,
What
man.
happened to Jim Graham? He died of stank water.
And he wasn't even on Naked and Afraid.
I can't believe the one thing that I'm really paranoid about right now happened to me.
Yeah, you were just afraid. You left out the naked part.
Yeah, if I'd have been naked, it'd have been perfect and weird.
Clothed and afraid.
Okay, this concludes the weird thing that happened to me last week.
Oh, it's good stuff, man.
Nice.
There's so much more to talk about. We had Miss Ashley with us. Always a pleasure. Always makes everyone smile. A very positive beam of light.
Yeah, that's a good description of Ash.
All right, I'm looking to see. I wrote her a letter to see if she was around. She's probably out doing something right now. So
She's probably out covering some event.
yes.
She's mowing.
Yeah.
Is she? Oh, mowing Clover Creek. That's right. I forgot that she moved. I keep forgetting.
So I'm looking at, for everyone who doesn't want to verbally experience Joe Nall through us, you can go to Flying Giants, and we have a Joe Nall forum section where everything lives, photos and chat and stories and news and videos and daily photo floods. And then on RC Groups, we also have a Joe Nall section, and you can go in there and see it all.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 stories from Joe Nall that we put up, not including the pre-Joe Nall stories. We have from the field 23 stories up there. That is incredible.
It's a record.
It is a record. I mean, if there's anybody out there that hates Joe Nall, which probably there's no one, but if there were somebody that hates Joe Nall, they would not want to come to our site because we have a lot of awesome Joe Nall coverage.
Well, this week the coverage I believe is totally out. I had the lost Joe Nall photos that went up that I actually every time I do a show there's a few photos I lose and I found them. I wanted to thank Casey Ducia. She's not only a lovely lady who's fun to hang around, she's Chase Ducia's mom as well and John Ducia's wife. Many roles that Casey fills.
She's a professional drag racer too, which is legitimate.
For real?
Absolutely, yeah. They drag race. They're a drag racing family.
She used to race snowmobiles too.
Dude, what doesn't she race?
She's also a competitive weightlifter. I forget exactly what she does in that realm. But the reason I bring her up is I knew that no one would be there Sunday, and I called her, or I actually PM'd her, and said, you know what would be awesome is if you could upload or send me some photos that we could feature on Flying Giants and I believe on RC Groups. And she said, I would love to, Jim. And she totally came through and made my day because the thing I hate the most is when something's going on and we don't have coverage.
Yeah, that's a bad feeling. Right. She killed it in a good way.
Also, a big hello to not only Bob Sadler but his mother, who was there, and Bob said, listen, before you leave, I'd love for you to go say hello to my mother. She really wants to say hello to you. And we looked out at the crowd, and there was a little lady waving, and I said, is that your mother waving at us? And he said, yeah. And so there's a picture in the photo flood of me hugging Bob Sadler's mom, and then I took a picture of them together.
Hey, speaking of photo floods, also want to give a shout out to FG members Pack Rat's Mistress and St. Catherine. Both of
Yes.
them give us incredible photo floods every single year. In fact, I think that this year was a record, and they both put them up on FG first before they sent them out in the great world of online web forums and such. So thanks a lot to both of y'all for providing member coverage. We love it.
I did. Did the law get some photos up this year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I don't
but
want to leave the law out. Even if
no,
she, I bet money she did, and if she didn't, she always posts great photos of events. They go all over the place.
I
Terry's
like her
posted them
little
a lot.
signature. She puts like the little sheriff symbol at the bottom of her photos that says the law. That's pretty legit.
Well, I was at an event with her, and there was an all-man arm wrestling contest that went on at a campsite, and the law came in, and she took the crown away from the winner, much to that man's chagrin. It happened. I said, now I know why they call you the law.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's cool.
And then let's talk about Terry. Can we talk about Terry and his plane stands and the role it played and his Joe Nall?
I think so. Yeah, we did that. We did a great news article about Terry's Customs plane stands, which I have one. They are very well built, high quality stands that can hold almost any size giant airplane down to 30 cc and up. As long as the wing tube is long enough to reach from one side to the other, you can balance your planes on these very nice wing plane stands. So I did an article about them, and Terry told me that basically after doing that article, they were selling so fast that they would have to make them they'd have to basically make these huge lots of these stands and then ship them all out at once. So we helped. In fact, we fully financed their trip to Joe Nall.
Not we, but all of you.
All of you.
users.
That's what I meant to say. Our story contributed to sales, which financed their trip to Joe Nall. So awesome that
Nice.
we could help out these. They're cool people, man. Really cool people. I enjoy talking to them every year. And I was running around like a madman, and I didn't get a chance to talk to Terry and the law as long as I wanted to, but at least I got a chance to see him this year.
If we actually spent as much time as we should, we probably wouldn't be getting all the stories out.
Yeah,
It's
that's difficult to balance that with. I could sit and I'll talk to somebody for 30 minutes and then realize, oh my God, I've got to get coverage. You know?
the main line, the FPV line, the lake, the educational center. There was a lot of stuff to hit.
And what people didn't see was they would see all three of us out covering, and then when they didn't see was all three of us back in the
RV.
For 4 hours uploading the stories and then heading right back out the door to do the next round. Man, that's legit.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, especially on the vendor row, I get pulled aside and they'd ask us about numbers and things like that. One thing I'm looking at right now that I think is awesome and interesting is in our Joe Nall section. So we have an event section on Flying Giants and RCGroups. And in the Joe Nall section right now on Flying Giants, there were 3,502 people just in the Joe Nall section.
Nice.
Attaboy.
It's just phenomenal. And so these numbers, you may say, well, Jim, how old is this viewing number? I can tell you how old it is. We clock in every 2 hours. So in 2 hours, it will recheck who was here, who left, and all that stuff. And that's based on competing sites or other sites, an average time that most people use. But 3,500 just in the Joe Nall section. It's insane.
That's awesome, dude.
Enormity.
So what's our next big event? I'll tell you what mine is. XFC. Yep.
Flying Giants and RCGroups, a platinum sponsor for Frank and XFC, and it almost didn't happen this year. And I contacted Frank and I said, "What can we do?" He said, "You could send me some money," and so we did.
Yeah. That's what makes these events go down. Seriously, it's not run on good faith. You got to have cold hard cash to put this down.
Got to have purse money, and then the thing that you're not thinking about that Frank and I were talking about is the generators, all the other things that it takes for the facility to actually take in all these folks in RVs and
portable facilities, porta johns. You got your You got your electricity, like you said, for everything. All of the they have a huge speaker system. They bring in this giant trailer that the event announcer sits in. What's his name?
Steve Kaloff.
Yeah, yep. So he's in there.
Maybe the most handsome man of the audio world.
Nice, yeah. And then they also have all those tents. I mean, literally, it's tent city up in there. They supply each pilot, each contestant, if you will, I think it's a 12 by 12 size tent, or maybe a little larger. And it's the real deal. It's not. It's like the circus style tents that are all stake driven in the ground by 8 dudes that are like ting 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 ting. You know what I'm talking about?
And I heard that they were having masseuse come in for each pilot so that they can really relax before their rounds.
Yep, they do. They have professional masseuse. No, I'm just kidding.
That's not happening. It's actually an acupuncturist that's coming in and going to stick.
And it's somebody that makes smoothies for brain power. Because you need it, right?
You certainly do.
Come on, guys, throw me a bone here.
I could use a smoothie right now.
Me too. Me too.
Here's what I found after Joe Nall. I would be fine until 2:30 each day, and at 2:30 my battery was officially my voltage alarm would go off in my brain and be like, okay, I'm done. So
yeah, you definitely push. I would get that too, and then push the voltage way below 3.2.
And you know what will damage your cells? It's not good.
I already did that.
Well, is there anything anybody? I made a couple of notes. I'll look at those. Anything anybody wants to talk about before we call this the post show for Joe Nall 2016?
You know, this is.
I think I'm good.
Go ahead. This is the first year I did not hear any post Joe Nall complaining. People, I mean, were not upset. Everyone loved it. You know,
no one did anything crazy.
No one did anything too crazy. Literally, nobody did. Everyone had a good time. Nobody acted a fool. I think Colton chucked himself out of a golf cart a few times, but that's kind of par for the course, right? Right, Colton? Yeah. So everyone,
the 3D hippie brotherhood.
Yes, it comes with the territory. So, but everyone behaved, and nobody got hurt. I don't think anybody really gets hurt anyway, but nobody did anything that would ban them for life.
Not even close. We and before we get out of here, did anyone besides Ash and I go into the new educational center?
Jason did, didn't you, Jason?
Go in there. Yeah. It's still unfinished, so it's but what they did have was a giant room with a bunch of TVs on the wall, a bunch of real flight simulators working for people to come play with and train on, and then there was another giant hangar adjacent to it that had some airplanes hanging up and stuff, but it looks like they're going to make it kind of classroom style and turn this thing into a education center for young and aspiring pilots. So very cool stuff.
I've never seen real flight that HD. It was pretty astounding.
I wish I would have seen it because I don't know what you're talking about.
I went into the abandoned air hangar airport and got a pits and went nose view and flew FPV. So
there you go.
All the way across all 4 flight lines. I'm sure everybody was happy.
Nice.
Oh no, it's all separate. They're not flying together. Although that would be awesome if they could group fly out of that one room. Now,
real flight land party.
Yeah, man.
I thought you were talking real. You really did that.
No. I did that on real flight in the educational center.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one thing we cannot forget is Triple Tree is not owned by Pat, although Mr. Pat is awesome. He has donated Triple Tree to all of us, and so we need to donate our time, our money, anything that we do well, like Joe Nall post-show, pre-show podcasts, whatever you can throw in to make that place more successful. And the real goal is to make sure Triple Tree is there long after we're dead and gone. And the kids of tomorrow are going to Joe Nall and doing exactly what we're doing. In fact,
tell them what you said.
The Anderson clan, there were the Anderson RC kids plus more. And it occurred to me that these might be the future tense us of Joe Nall. They might be the guys on the vendor row during the event coverage, flying on the. So I said, look, in 30 years or so, if I'm old and I look peaked, Yeah, I might not age. I do some things. But if I look tired or any of us in this golf cart, just ask us, hey, old man, do you need water? How about a ride to the main line? So I'm just setting it up for all of us when we become old people of RC.
Did you just swallow stank water?
Yeah.
Let me help you.
Could you give me some steak water, please?
The kids are like, I'm not familiar with that concept. What is this snake water you speak of?
Put it in my pie hole and be gone.
Here's a Red Bull. Old man, take a look at my life.
Oh, man, I might need to get a jug that says steak water on it.
Oh, dude.
We totally jump topics. Bam!
It should be. That's how we roll.
Jolting. Well, I want to thank the guys and Miss Ashley and Nikolai for all the work and help at the show. I want to thank Mark and the whole Triple Tree crew who took care of us. And anything we needed, all we had to do is go find them, which is tricky. But we didn't. I don't think we ever needed any help on anything. And
hey, you know who I want to thank?
Yes.
I want to thank Jason Cole and CJ Corella for flying the Littlefoot for me during the review that we shot.
Right.
In between all the footage that we captured, I was able to shoot 2 reviews at Joe Nall. One for the Hydra Pro Inception is a RC boat from Hobby King. Is that thing fast or what, guys?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
People were like, "Is that stock?" That's how fast.
Yeah, that's what people were asking. Is that stock? It's a 53-mile-an-hour boat. We GPSed it. We have it in the video. Jason Cole drove it for me. Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then Jason also flew the Extreme Flight / Legacy Aviation Littlefoot, and it is an incredible 3D high-wing plane that kind of looks like a Husky Aviat.
That review's out now.
That review is live on both sites. We put it on Flying Giants and RCGroups. I really enjoyed it. I've actually been experimenting a lot flying it. I flew it last night at dusk, and I was always flying it full tilt, like full control surface throws, and really throwing it around, And I know Jason can attest to that. It's a light, nimble, very agile plane, but it's very quick. So I actually dialed it back and put dual rates on it for once in my life. And man, it flies like a kitten when you slow it down. So It's a good dual-purpose plane.
Extreme flight right there.
That's it, man. Thanks a lot, Jason, for flying it. Thanks, CJ Corella, for flying it too. So.
Speaking of stuff that we just put up, I just re-uploaded a video from I think Mike McDougall, and it's the Horizon T28. I just put it on our RCGroups YouTube channel. If you get a chance, guys, just watch it land.
Is it sweet? I got to get one of those, man.
It puts the flaps down, and it's like a Harrier. It just goes.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was awesome.
I'm running out of room, man. I got to get rid of some planes. You can't see all over that's over on here. There's just planes everywhere.
We need to have an RCGroups user swap shop meetup in Nashville.
Yeah, we could do that.
That would be amazing.
Okay, so this is moderately related. After doing 3 shows in a row, I felt like I needed to give myself a present.
Well, what did you get?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's the rock and roll icon guitar of the world right there. That's a Gibson SG, y'all.
Is that an Angus Young?
Yeah. And by the way, if you were here,
man, I can see myself in your screen.
It smells like candy. I have not made anyone smell it yet, but the other day I was like, I'm gonna need to smell this thing, and it smells like candy, and. It is as awesome as it's supposed to be. Those are P90s, if anyone cares. And
awesome, dude.
Heritage
P90X.
You can thank all the shows for this. Man, it's so cool.
Does it smell like candy apple?
I think he likes it. I think he likes it.
Yeah, buddy.
It smells like vanilla. All right, y'all. There's so much more to say. We could probably fill up a whole nother hour telling stories. I'm sure we've forgotten a lot of good ones, but everything is on our event coverage sections on Flying Giants and RCGroups, so be sure and check that out. Also, today, if you're live, we're going to have the mass email going out from RCGroups, and I'm going to try to feature as much Joe Nall stuff as I can in that mass email.
And don't forget to be here Thursday, 2 o'clock.
Yes.
Central Time. I've got some great stories from the Flying Circus FPV Festival I was just at this past weekend. some cool new products and things coming out. So amazing stuff that we'll be able to talk about on Thursday.
Good.
Yes. All right, y'all. Jim T. Graham, Jason Cole, Matt Gunn, RCGroups, Flying Giants. This has been your Joe Nall 2016 post show. And
Radio broadcast.
Live. Where's the button? All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.